Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Kayfabe Coffee, the show that keeps it real while we pretend it's real. Good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi, the barista of broken kayfabe, if you will, pouring out hot takes stronger than a Starbucks shaken espresso. Welcome to Kayfabe Coffee here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. As you can see, I am not alone this morning. It is Thursday morning, which means we're recapping AEW Dynamite with JPJ. What's going on, my friend? Good morning.
Good morning, brother. We're good, man. We're having a good time. Thursday, I'm off the weekend, going away the weekend this weekend.
Where are you going?
Portland, Maine. So not too far from where I am, about an hour and a half away. But me and some of the fam are having a weekend away. We're going to hit up some breweries, have some good times.
Maybe watch some college basketball because March Madness is here.
It starts in a few hours. That's
wait.
the plan today. We're going to be chopping it up with you right now. I'm going to go get coffee. And I had a little bit of an espresso this morning, but I'm going to go I'm going to go get a proper coffee and proper breakfast after we're done here. And then I'm going to strap in and we're going to have March Madness. Probably going to be streaming some MLB The Show, which just came out. And that's going to be the day today, brother. I'm excited.
Dude, I'm excited for it, too, because there's nothing better than just sitting down for 8 hours straight watching 20-year-olds play basketball and getting mad at 20-year-olds for playing basketball because you got money on the line. But that's America in a nutshell right there. But I'm glad you got your espresso. I'm not living the gimmick today. This is the new monster that just came out. We got the red, white, and blue Raz over here. Are you an energy drink guy?
I am not. I do not like the taste. I have probably drank less than 10 energy drinks in my life.
That's crazy. I know your other half, Pluggo, dabbles with the energy drinks. Me and him got one in Indy.
He drinks them too much.
Oh,
he'll tell you.
He'll tell you.
Well, I mean, listen, I drink a ton of coffee. It's not the same stuff, but you drink it to get energy. You drink it to get caffeine. That's what, so I can't judge anybody for drinking energy drinks because I drink 8 shots of espresso a day when I'm at work. You know what I mean? So
you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah. I feel like the taste is there's like that certain taste that energy drinks bring.
It's like that. It's like a tang. I don't know how to describe it. There is a little twang to it.
It doesn't sit well with me. And I feel like when I've had energy drinks, the aftermath, I have not felt great.
That's fair. I tell you what, you don't want to get hooked on them because you're not going to stop. People forget caffeine's a drug. It is a drug. It is addicting.
It's a hell of a drug.
You're damn right it is. And we fuel ourselves with caffeine over here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. Eric, I'm not as much as a workhorse today as I thought I was going to be. So I did record with Najee, NXT with Najee coming out on Body Slam today. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. We recap NXT, but no OTM tonight. But I do know that the Beards are going to be running the show, right? You got a pod tonight?
Yeah, we do. Between Two Beards, 8 p.m. Eastern, Love Wrestling, CA, YouTube, Twitch. Every Thursday night, 8 p.m. I know, you usually we're kind of programming each other. But yeah, so if no OTM tonight. So if you're an OTM listener and you want to hear some wrestling, slide on over to Love Wrestling. Me and Pluggo, we do the damn thing every week with the flagship show over there. We have a good time, man. I'm sure we'll be talking March Madness. We're going to be talking the WBC, World Baseball Classic. And obviously we have what we'll be talking about today. We have Dynamite. We just had Revolution, which was a great show.
So much going on, right?
WWE. Yeah, we talk about everything. So
I love it. I love watching you guys. When I get the chance to, obviously, because we do go head to head most of the time. But I swear it's not intentional. We've both been along or been around the block for a couple of years.
Time. Yeah,
so it definitely was not intentional there. But Eric's trying to piss me off early with this comment. He goes, "What seed is Indiana?" Once again, we did not make the NCAA tournament, but we did win the national championship in football. Okay, so
that's fine.
You could shove it up your you-know-what, Eric. Good morning to you, too.
And I know you probably don't like these people because you're an Indiana fan.
Oh, Purdue.
I picked Purdue to win the national championship in my bracket.
Full transparency with you, JPJ. They have a great draw, and I don't think that is crazy for you to pick them. They can make a run this year, especially getting hot in the Big Ten tournament.
They're a number one seed. I really like Arizona. I like Arizona a lot too. I've seen they're a trendy pick, and I like them a lot. And I think that they are one of the probably 4. I mean, it's always Cinderella stuff, but I think there's realistically 4 or 5 teams that can actually win it.
The cream rises to the top at the end, usually.
Yeah, but I picked Purdue. I picked Purdue to win the whole thing. Now Purdue has screwed me. Purdue has screwed me before.
They've lost some bad tournament games.
For some reason, they're just a team that I see, and I'm like, I like Purdue, and I'll pick them to go deep, and they have ruined my brackets more than one occasion.
I'll tell you this: I've never said I like Purdue in my life. Well, I guess until now, but I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I promise, guys. But I got Duke. It's not surprising. I went with the number 1 overall seed for a reason. But hey,
that's fair.
We're going to see some upsets. Shout out to Miami, Ohio. I was wrong. Pluggo, I'll give you credit. Pluggo was right. They should have been in the tournament, and they proved it last night. That's all I got to say.
I mean, they beat SMU. I don't think that proves anything. But
SMU was missing one of their best players, too.
My UMass Minutemen ruining the Miami of Ohio dreams.
I didn't know you were a UMass guy. Do you know the Yes Man then on TikTok? Oh, okay.
I'm not. Listen, I am one of those people, and I know college sports. I live in the Northeast. We don't give a single shit about college sports in the Northeast. It does not matter. We have pro teams that matter, and that's all we care about.
It's more of a Midwest thing to care about college sports.
It's a Southern. I feel like it's everywhere else in the country.
You're right.
Except
but the coast.
Northeast.
I would say the West Coast really doesn't care either.
Doesn't give a shit either. I just feel like we don't care about, like, don't get me wrong. If one of our local teams is
like St. John's makes a run,
yeah, well, they're New York, so they're fucking themselves. But you know what I mean. Like, if UConn wins, that's kind of cool. They're not far away.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden, it was a long time ago, but if like BC or BU or any of those teams made a run,
they won't be doing that anymore.
No, but like we would, like the area would get behind them and be rooting for them. But like, I'm one of these people, and again, I don't want to offend anybody because I know.
Oh, you can do whatever you want.
If I didn't go to the school, I have no reason to root for you.
That's fair.
I didn't go to your school. Yeah. So, like, don't get me wrong. If I lived in Indiana, I would root for one. Like, if the Indiana
Purdue,
teams,
Indiana, Notre Dame.
It'd be one I would like, right? Yeah. And I'd be like, all right, cool. But, like, at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I don't find it. I'm not going to say the word weird because that's a wrong word, but I find it's indifferent to me when I see people that are like obsessed with the college sports team, and I go, "Oh, you went there?" And they go, right. "No," and I go, "Well, you hear what the fuck do you care?"
Exactly. Like I have.
What do you care?
There are multiple people in Northwest Indiana that are diehard Alabama football fans. Yeah. I go, where is the correlation here? You just saw they were on TV and they were good, so you're like, yeah. I'm an Alabama fan, but
I just don't. And again, it's a regional thing. I don't know. I'm sure if BC, was in the college football playoff, I would be like, come on, BC, like let's go.
You probably care, yeah.
But if they lost, I wouldn't be. I would, yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
You wouldn't be hung up about it. I get it. We could talk sports all day. We could turn this episode into a March Madness special. But if you like brackets, you like March Madness. OTM's doing a bracket right now. We're trying to determine the greatest WWE women's superstar of all time. JPJ, if I were to put you on the spot right now, who's your greatest women's superstar of all time in the WWE? It's tough.
Yeah. For me personally, if I was just picking my favorite, it would be Bayley.
I mean, she was a 2 seed in our bracket, so she's got clout.
Yeah, I mean, I love Bayley. I mean, I think Trish Stratus has to be in the conversation. I think Becky Lynch needs to be in the conversation.
We didn't even have China in our bracket, I don't think. Well,
that's the country. That the China I know. Yeah, with the Y.
With the Y. Yeah, there he is. He got it.
China would be up there. But I think if I was
she did make it.
Yeah, I think if I was picking one, I mean, it's hard to go against. You can go against Charlotte.
That's who my answer is, Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte feels like she could be the total package if you're talking about that. Me personally, I would pick Bayley, but that's more because she's my favorite. But she's in the discussion. But
oh, no doubt.
I would think it's Trish, Charlotte, Becky. You can throw in there.
That's my top 3 right there. You just named
I feel like
top
that's
3 of all time. Yeah, I think that's the big 3. Maybe Lita is just the one that's on the outside looking in. Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, Lita, Bayley is in the periph. I feel like China should be involved because she was the first. She was a pioneer, first ever women's intercontinental champ. Like she was.
Rhea isn't what she is now without China making waves.
I think if we do this tournament again 10 years from now, I think Rhea Ripley's probably the no doubt, like without question.
Io Sky,
yeah, one of them. Yeah, I think Rhea is on a trajectory to be without question the greatest women's wrestler in the history of maybe all of it.
She's still in her 20s, I
Yeah,
believe.
she's still in. I think she's still in her 20s. So
which is
if she
absolutely
wants,
ridiculous.
she wants to wrestle for a long, and until she's in her late 30s, 40s, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I don't think her star power. Like, she's the most popular person in the whole company.
I don't see it fizzling out anytime soon. If anything, they'll do the natural turn her heel while the crowd's like getting tired of her winning. But
100%.
she would excel 100% as a heel as well. So I'm not worried about Rhea. But hey, speaking of WWE, I know there's something big that happened on Monday Night Raw that I want to get your thoughts on, and it's the way they kicked off Monday Night Raw. And I know we're here to talk Dynamite, people. We'll get into it, sickos. But we need to talk about the impact that Oba Femi made to kick off Monday Night Raw, because he confronted Brock Lesnar, and we know now we are getting Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So tell me how that opening segment of Monday Night Raw made you feel.
It had been months since WWE made me feel anything. I haven't disliked the product. I've liked the product. It's been fine. But I have not really felt that way. How I felt, I think we all felt it, but I had not really felt that way on Monday at the beginning of that show in a long time with WWE. I'm happy that they made that decision, because we had heard rumors it was going to be LA Knight. Then it was, if Braun Breaker's not ready, it's going to be Seth. And again, I like the part with Seth too, but Seth cut that promo and he was directed, what he was saying was directed directly at Brock Lesnar. And I was like, okay, they're going to go Seth and Lesnar. That's what we're getting again. And then Lesnar comes out and it's like, oh shit. All right, here we go. It's Seth and Lesnar again. Okay. And then once Oba's music hit, I was like, oh wow. I was like, oh, they're actually doing this. Like, they're going to at least tease it, but they're doing it. And then the way it went down, Seth kind of creeps up. Brock tells him to scram. And when Brock fully turned around from Oba, when he turned back around, I yelled. I was like, do something, Oba. I was like, do something. And when he just lifted him up like a child, I couldn't believe it. I was screaming. It was incredible. And you could hear Brock on the ground saying, put your foot on my chest. Like, Brock was like, hey, like, come on. Like,
and that's my thing, dude. Like, I get it. You can dislike Brock Lesnar as a human being. That I totally understand. But as a businessman, Brock Lesnar understands business. Like, that's good business right there. Not a lot of people would put over.
That's him helping the youth. He's saying, hey, man, this is really good. Put your foot on my chest and point at the sign. It'll be better. Like, do it. Put your foot on my
100%.
chest.
And the people that are like, well, Oba can't win this match because it's going to ruin the fact that Brock Lesnar ended the streak and squashed John Cena at the end of his career. That doesn't affect anything with either one of those people's legacies right there.
No.
It'd be fine if Oba Femi beat Brock Lesnar, because Oba Femi's going to be around for another 10 to 15 years.
Yeah. First of all, it'll be more than fine. It's what should happen. If they're booking this match for Oba Femi to lose, I don't want this match to happen. That's a dumb decision. Brock Lesnar doesn't need to win another match until he is gone. He's Brock fucking Lesnar.
Yeah. What is
him losing a big match to a young stud that is unquestionably going like?
And he's bigger than Brock, isn't he?
Yeah,
like,
since this guy has come, even when he was in NXT, but since this guy has come up to the main roster, it is unquestionable that he is a top level, can run a show, can run the company type guy immediately. The crowd chants his name like they chant, not that Goldberg, but they chant his name immediately.
Similar.
They're doing the walk. He's like, this guy is money, and he's already made. He beats Brock Lesnar, and I think he should do it semi-reasonably, like handle his business a little bit.
Maybe let Brock get one F5 in just to shock Oba, but that kind of like gets Oba and wakes Oba up, and then he goes on the rampage.
I would have him kick out at 1.
Yeah, F5 to start the match, kick out at 1, and then Oba goes on a rampage.
Yep.
That would be money.
And then he beats Brock, and it's like, holy shit. And then you can have Brock go on a warpath. Brock's angry. He got embarrassed at WrestleMania. He starts murdering lower-level guys, and then it eventually leads to what people think is going to be
the retirement
Brock
match.
And Gunther at SummerSlam and Mini, and Gunther puts him to pasture too, and then that's that.
Then that'd be fine with me.
Yeah, him losing those 2 matches does nothing
because that's the future
to tarnish Brock Lesnar's legacy.
100%.
If you're just looking at it from a wrestling standpoint, not because I think he's personally already tarnished his legacy from other things.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at it from just a wrestling landscape,
Correct.
not everything outside, no. John Cena lost multiple times last year.
He looked. I was there. Pluggo was there too. WrestlePalooza against Brock Lesnar.
Got his ass whooped.
John Cena, no disrespect again, but he looked like Akira Tozawa out there.
Yeah.
He got no offense against Brock Lesnar. Is anybody really talking about that match anymore? No.
We're talking.
We're bringing it up, yeah.
But we're talking about Cena's last year, and there's been constructive, as there should be, because it wasn't the greatest booking for the last year. No. But just because it was a bad last year, I don't think anybody's looking at John Cena differently than how everyone's looking at John Cena and going, yeah, that's one of, if not the GOAT.
Yeah. We miss it, if anything. That's all I see online is that people are just saying, hey, it's weird without him.
Yeah. Him losing to Cody at SummerSlam didn't hurt John Cena. Him tapping out to Gunther to end his career didn't hurt John Cena. None of that hurt John Cena at all. I would make the argument that the match with Brock that you were there for didn't need to happen. That could have been a different match. It's
irrelevant to everything. Yeah, that didn't have any impact on anything.
You could have had John just fight somebody else. I would have liked to have seen a couple younger opponents for him along the way.
Carmelo Hayes would have been a fun little spot there.
Carmelo Hayes would have been
Braun
fun.
Breaker.
Yeah, you could have done something like that, but at the same time, the booking of Cena's last year was bad, but him losing a few matches didn't hurt him at all. Brock Lesnar absolutely should lose to Obafemi, and if he doesn't, I personally believe that will be an egregious mistake 100%. On WWE's part if they don't do that. This guy is ready to go. You have him beat Brock Lesnar, and this guy should be world champion for you. When he came out on Monday, I was like, make him world champion tonight.
Yeah.
Just make him world champion tonight.
Legitimately, if you had to start a pro wrestling company, I know that question gets thrown around often, and you only had 5 people to pick, Obafemi is one of my first picks.
Yeah. He's my second. I would pick MJF first, which we'll talk about.
That's a great first pick.
I would pick MJF first because I believe he is the complete total package in the world right now. When we'll talk about him, I'm sure.
Yeah, you want to get into it?
We can dive in. But yeah,
we're almost 20 minutes in.
Obafemi is what, pick 2, 3 at
He's
worst?
A first-round draft pick
He's
in any company.
He's 26 years old.
Yeah. It's going to be all right if he he defeats Brock Lesnar, people. Don't worry. Obafemi's the ruler for a reason. But we're here to talk about Dynamite, and guess who's back? The Billy Goat, Will Ospreay. And it's always good to see Will on Dynamite. He obviously missed some time with an injury, but we got to see an old Warrior wrestling match. Of course, I'm going to bring that up because this happened in 2022, and I love me some Warrior wrestling. But we got to see it here to kick off Dynamite. It wasn't the longest match, but Blake Christian got a few moves in, and he looked pretty good. But I think the biggest takeaway here is that we got Ospreay back, and we know what direction he is headed in, and it seems like he's going for Jon Moxley in that Continental Championship. So how'd you feel about this start and the fact that we got Will Ospreay's return at Revolution this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was coming soon. I knew it was coming soon. We started seeing a couple of vignettes over the last, couple weeks, month or so. It was good to see him at the pay-per-view. I kind of expected to see him at the pay-per-view. I did not expect him to be wrestling right away, though. No. I thought maybe we'd see him at the pay-per-view and then he'd show up maybe for a promo last night or maybe in a couple weeks. But they were like, nah, dude, this guy's back. Boom. They announced this match yesterday. I was like, let's go. Yeah. It was good. Blake Christian's a perfect first opponent. He's going to take care of, not that Ospreay needs taken care of, but he's going to give Ospreay a good match. He's going to let Ospreay shine because I'm sure it's hard when you think of a guy of the in-ring caliber of Will Ospreay to have ring rust. Sure. But it is his first match in 6-7 months, whatever it is, 6-7 months. Maybe.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, All In was his last match.
Wow, you're right. Yeah, All In.
So that was August. So it's been
hell.
7 months, 6.5, 7 months.
Well, the crazy thing is, and I think the reason I haven't realized it's been that long is because AEW is so top-heavy that they really haven't missed a beat, and I haven't felt that void, even though he does bring a different energy, and you felt that to kick off Dynamite, even though the crowd was kind of shit.
That crowd sucked last night.
That crowd sucked.
That crowd
Fishers, Indiana was louder. I was there for Fishers, Indiana, and they were louder than whatever the hell they were last night.
Yeah, because listen, I do think last night's Dynamite was like a slight step back from like the last month or so that we've been getting, because
But
we've been
that's
getting
fine.
some, but it was still a good to real, it was still a good to very good show. Like it was a good show. That crowd fucking blew, dude. I don't know what was going on,
Well, that's
but
what I always
it,
say, man. It's like a good crowd can really take an average show to a great show, but a bad crowd can take an average show to a
it
bad
was
show.
weird. And I don't,
Yeah,
and the crowd, like obviously they've been going to like smaller venues. The
which I
crowd
love.
looked full. So I don't know if it was maybe just a sound thing where the crowd sound, because
Production issue.
I was seeing people react in the crowd. I saw
Yeah.
people but it just, I don't know if it just didn't come through sound wise or they were really just that quiet. But there was stuff on this show that I was like, why is this not getting a reaction?
They
Like
were no selling big things.
I'm
Yeah.
reacting to it sitting in this chair. How are they not fucking reacting to it?
Darby
Very
Allin literally drove a car and flipped it, and then they're
Yeah.
kind of just like, oh.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. But
It's like, if you pay money to go to a wrestling show, get involved.
Yeah.
Wrestling is about the fans. The fans are a part of the show. Without the
Yeah.
fans, you got no wrestling.
exactly.
Look at
Don't sit
COVID.
Yeah, 100%. But
That
no,
was tough
I
year.
know. Yeah. But no, this was a good first match back. You know he's going to win. Blake Christian's a great wrestler, so he's going to make him look good. He's going to get his stuff in and make everything look great. And then we heard what he said afterwards, and yeah, he is going for Jon Moxley. He's going after the Continental Championship, and I am all for that. I am all for that.
There's nothing wrong with seeing the ace of AEW, which is Jon Moxley, going against probably the best in-ring, bell-to-bell wrestler out there, and Will Ospreay. I think that's going to be a fun feud because it kind of parlayed, obviously, into this tag team match right after, because we had the Death Riders with Moxley and Wheeler Yuta, who... Wheeler, it's about time you actually shaved your head. I can't call you a fraud anymore because you actually did commit to it. But I don't know if you noticed, under the hood, he never really truly shaved all of his head.
No.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Pay
Yeah,
your
no.
dues.
Yeah, you have to. Moxley told him you got to live up to the stip, bro. You can't.
I think that's a fair. So I said the same thing to Ian, my co-host on OTM, because he was like, "Why isn't the crowd reacting to Darby?" This was word for word. I was like, "We've seen Darby do crazy shit like this before. That could be it."
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, at some point, and we'll talk about Darby a little later, but at some point, Darby needs to get back to being more than just the guy that does crazy shit.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like that's all he is right now. Since he's come back, they had the Death Riders stuff early on because that was kind of left over. But like he's really just been fighting the Death Riders and the War Dogs, but there really hasn't been a story. Now, after his match a little bit later, which we'll talk about, it seems like maybe they're getting in the direction there with him. But this tag match was good too. I mean, again, I love Juice Robinson, and Ace Austin is such a get for them. What a signing for them.
So,
like he's going to be great for them when they...
I did have a question for you.
Yeah.
When did Ace Austin come into the fold? Was that a Collision thing that I missed?
I don't really remember when they decided that he was going to be like in the Bang Bang Gang. I think that was fairly recent.
Yeah, it had to be.
But they signed him late last year, fall-ish last year.
I must have missed that.
And then I don't think they were using him regularly, but it seems like over the last like 3 weeks, month, like he's been with these guys. He was in the Battle Royal on the pre-show at the paper. It seems like they're making an effort to get him on TV more, which they should, because he's really, really good.
Well, that was my biggest takeaway from this match, is that I thought Ace Austin looked like the star here, which is going to be beneficial for him going forward. But I swear, every time Moxley is out there, I'm like, when is this dude ever going to take a vacation? I can't get it past my head. I'm like, this guy is a workhorse. He's always there. And he's always winning matches, too.
Yeah, it's true. And that is true, Eric points out. In TNA, him and Chris Bay were Bullet Club affiliated, I believe. So it kind of fits that they kind of go right in the Bang Bang Gang. It'd be nice to see Jay White soon, if he's healthy, for the love of God.
Didn't he kind of tease it on Twitter?
He teases it every pay-per-view. He goes, so tonight? Or he says something like every time. All right, tonight's tonight. You guys ready?
I think we've been ready, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. But, yeah, no, this was good. But again, you knew who was going to win. I love Juice Robinson, but he's not beating Moxley's not losing this match, especially after Ospreay just called his ass out right before it. Like he's not going to then lose.
No, the Bang Bang Gang doesn't really have much momentum right now. So it really would have made sense for them to just pop off with a random win here against Moxley and Wheeler.
Yeah. But this was, again, solid, good tag team match, back and forth. Moxley gets the win on Ace Austin with the Death Rider there, the Revolution Death Rider, and yeah, it's good stuff.
Let's move on to this coffin match. We were talking about Darby Allin and how we've seen this before. I mean, not exactly this exact moment because he flipped a car and then put Gabe Kidd into the trunk, and then Gabe Kidd fell out the trunk. I was like, "Holy shit, Darby! You're just doing Darby things." That's what I put on Twitter. It's Darby Allin doing Darby Allin things. And once they got into the arena, I feel like we already saw the craziest point of the match. So there really wasn't much they could do, I think, to pop the live crowd. And honestly, I really didn't care for anything that they did once they got back into the arena with the coffin match personally. But how did you feel about how they went about constructing this matchup between these two guys?
I liked all the stuff that happened outside the arena. I liked Gabe Kidd saying, yeah, I thought that was good. It was different. You know, he almost gets run over by the car, and then they do the car spot, which was really cool, different. Yeah, and then they got in the arena, like, again, not bad. I like Gabe Kidd. I think if they let him talk like they have been,
they brought the dogs in, and they're just losing now.
Well, that's a different story. How they lost that match at Revolution, I thought was one of Revolution to me was an excellent that was a top-notch pay-per-view, but a few of how Takeshita losing made no sense to me.
I can get very nitpicky with that pay-per-view because you're right, it was great, but there is a few things that stand out.
It was really just the decisions. Like, I wouldn't have had Takeshita lose again, and how do the dogs lose? What does a win do for Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Darby in that case? The dogs just came in. You've made them look pretty damn good the first 2-3 weeks they've been there.
Yeah.
And then you just have them lose a regular. Like, I get it. Roddy just came back, but what on earth would the dogs lose that match? That made no sense to me.
Well, look at it this way. I'm a casual. I don't know much about the dogs. So why should I take the dogs seriously after what I've seen for the first 2 months?
Yeah.
It's not their fault.
No.
It's just the way they've been booked.
It was very odd. It was very odd.
I
didn't understand. Listen,
yes.
I would.
Do we want to talk about Ronda Rousey? And
I mean, we don't. I just felt unnecessary to me.
I don't even know if it's going to be a long-term thing because we saw no follow-up this week.
No, they mentioned her on commentary a few times.
Might be a one-off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Ronda was the one that did that to Tony and not Marina, like they're kind of leaning into. But I think I think this is, to me, it feels like not a dynasty, but it feels like Double or Nothing. It could be Tony and Nina versus Ronda and Marina. And you get Ronda Rousey in New York, big time match. It'll be closer or just around the time that she's coming back to do her fight with whoever she's fighting.
It better not be long term. If just do a one-off. If you treat her like a celebrity, like WWE would for WrestleMania, that is okay with me. I understand.
Listen, I don't think it's necessary. I think their women division is strong enough but from a business standpoint, Ronda Rousey is still a name that generates value to a lot of people.
Not as much as she used to, though.
To wrestling fans, probably not because the WWE run, but to outsiders, like people that like MMA and outsiders, like they still know. You hear the name Ronda Rousey, you know who that is.
Oh yeah.
So like from a business standpoint, I would understand why they would be like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. But to me, it just, I don't know. It just
she doesn't have a place in this world.
It just felt unnecessary to me.
Yeah, AEW's been doing. They've had such positive momentum, and that's the one thing that they really didn't need is like a negative headline to come out of one of their biggest shows. And unfortunately, that is one of the major things that people are talking about after Revolution. Like it or not,
as it would be. So,
but hey, hopefully it's just a short-term thing, and we won't have much of Ronda Rousey in AEW. But
exactly,
yeah, the coffin match it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I thought the ending was a little anticlimactic.
Agreed.
Just kind of the dive into it was a cool spot, but yeah, I would have liked to seen something a little bit more vicious. And they were both bleeding. It was a violent match, clearly,
no doubt.
But I just felt like it could have been that last moment of the coffin being closed, that could have been a little bit more of like a wow moment as opposed to kind of the way that it went. But
yeah, For sure.
Whatever.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was
Nothing
fun.
too crazy, but it was too crazy. In the parking lot, that was pretty wild. Seeing the
That
car
was
flip.
cool. That was cool. That
I
was
will
cool.
give them that. That was the highlight of the match for me. But something that's very interesting, and you're the one that actually piqued my interest when I saw you post about this. So now we know Swerve Strickland is the number one contender. So that wasn't
Mhm.
officially ever announced, but I think me and you even discussed it. It was essentially implied when they announced Brody King versus Swerve Strickland at Revolution that was going to be the number one contender going forward. So Swerve, he wants Kenny Omega because obviously Kenny Omega returned this past weekend at Revolution after that match when Swerve beat Brody King.
Yep.
But he wants to put Kenny Omega's EVP status on the line. And it's not happening at Dynasty. This is happening next week on Dynamite.
Which is
Now,
nuts.
I already know where you think this is going.
Yes,
But why
I do.
don't you tell the people where you see this situation going?
Well, the main event of Revolution, a certain cowboy had a stipulation on that match that if he lost, he would never be able to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship ever again. And he did lose, which I thought, great match. Understand completely why MJF is still the champion. He's probably pound for pound the complete package in all of wrestling to me. However, I just don't know what you do with Hangman from here. And, there's been some reports he's going to take some time off. That's cool. That's great. That's cool. But where does Hangman, the character, go? So Swerve cuts this promo. He says, I'll put my number one contendership up, but you put your EVP status up. And immediately I went, And I put on Twitter, I said, I just put the steps of what's going to happen. I go, Hangman can never challenge for the world title ever again. Swerve challenges Kenny Omega for his EVP status. Swerve gets Kenny Omega's EVP status. Swerve then wins the world title. Swerve then uses his EVP status to make Hangman go against his word and gets a World Heavyweight Championship match with Hangman because they have the big feud. And then Hangman beats Swerve for the world title. And then that is how you get around the stipulation of right?
I mean, it makes 100% sense. I don't see how they don't do that. Because what's your other option then at this point to get Hangman back into the title?
Your other option is you go against whether Hangman turns heel down the line and says, fuck that, I'm not following that. The only other option besides using this as a vehicle to get Hangman fighting Swerve for the title eventually.
Right.
Or maybe Swerve as an EVP just says, hey, as an EVP, that stipulation doesn't count.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, I want you fighting for everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, this should be the vehicle to getting that stipulation off of Hangman's, whatever.
So we both agree that Swerve's going to win next week, right? I think Swerve's beating Kenny Omega.
I think
you're not
so.
as sold.
Well,
he
because
ain't going to WWE here.
No. Dynasty's in Canada. MJF versus Kenny Omega for the world title at Dynasty in Canada.
I forgot it's in Canada. You're right.
Makes sense to me with MJF beating him. I know Kenny said he wants to win the world title this year. I feel like Kenny potentially could win the world title from Swerve.
That'd be money
later on this year.
Yeah.
Because I do think Kenny will get that belt this year, but Kenny could also fight Hangman for the. Kenny has multiple people he can fight, but I think the match should be Swerve and MJF at Dynasty, but that would be the second year in a row that Swerve's probably losing a world title match.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know how you protect Swerve in that spot against MJF without making him look bad.
I feel like Kenny Omega can lose that match at Dynasty.
It'd still be okay.
And it's fine.
Whereas
Swerve, look at Swerve's generational. Swerve would be fine too. But I feel like the next time Swerve challenges for the world title, Swerve should win. He should win the world title.
Yeah. Swerve right now would be damaged more than Kenny Omega with a loss.
I agree.
100%. So maybe I'm not as sure now.
But I do feel like this should be, again, it's weird to me because I say that out loud where I'm like, oh, Kenny and MJF in Canada at Dynasty makes sense.
It makes sense, but
it also makes sense that Swerve being an EVP is a way to get Hangman off that stipulation.
No doubt.
So
Eric said they've been teasing Swerve and MJF for like a year and a half. Yeah. They've been teasing a lot of things.
But that could happen realistically if if Hangman is taking time off, that could happen at, you telling me Swerve and MJF couldn't headline Double or Nothing?
Oh, 100% could. But I'm just
Absolutely.
thinking how many
In
people are actually
New
going.
York, MJF
Yeah.
State, him and Swerve. Now it's bad guy versus bad guy, but I mean, whatever.
The MJF would be treated like the
Yeah.
babyface in that
Yeah.
situation then. But I'm trying to sit here and think, how many guys do we think actually will hold that world title in 2026? I think Will Ospreay is going to get his hands on it. I think Will Ospreay will win the Owen and then maybe win the title at All In. I don't know if Swerve's actually going to get that world title. So I could confidently say I think it'll be MJF, Will Ospreay, and maybe Kenny Omega this year, and that's it. Did I lose you there for a second?
Fair. I think Ospreay even. Yeah, my computer was being weird. You froze and then I didn't hear
okay.
anything, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're good now. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, but like no. So, look at we didn't skip over it, but like there were multiple people on this show tonight that said they were going after the world title.
Mm-hmm.
We know Omega and Swerve are fighting for the number one contendership. We know, whatever, Hangman can't anymore, but like Darby Allin after that coffin match grabbed a microphone and he said, "I'm coming for the world title." Later on in the evening, there was a backstage interview with Andrade where he said, "I'm coming for the world title." Brody King is still lurking. I know he lost to Swerve, but Brody, there are multiple people interested in the world title. And that's a good thing because they can really go. You can sell me on MJF versus any of those guys, and I'm in on the match. So they have options. I do feel like Omega and Swerve are at the forefront. I think Ospreay is going to be dealing with mid-card titles for the first, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think by the end of the year, when they're back in London and All In August and stuff, like Ospreay is going to be involved,
No doubt. Those guys are all too good to not get a little piece of the pie at the top of the card.
100%.
The AEW is loaded in the main event scene right now, but they also have a great mid-card, and Speedball Mike Bailey is a part of that, who I was very shocked to see Mystico Jet Speed regain the trios. I shouldn't say regain because Mystico never had it, but Jet Speed regaining their trios titles, and then we got Mike Bailey, who has a singles match against Mark Davis, who... We've talked about Mark Davis at length on Kayfabe Coffee and what he provides to Dynamite, which is a very solid base here for Speedball Mike Bailey, who is a guy that, JPJ, I got to be honest with you. We've obviously seen Speedball work many independent shows. Me and you have gone to many in the past for these big pay-per-view weekends, and we've seen him work. I didn't know if he had the juice to work on television. It's working. Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, everything that they're doing right now in AEW, I love it. And this match, very solid match for Dynamite.
Oh, you know who we're not talking about here is Dunkzilla Mark Davis, who rules as well.
Yeah.
He's been incredible this last month and a half since, unfortunately, Doyle got injured. Mark Davis has been incredible.
Yeah.
And I love that guy too. And he's part of that strong mid card. But yeah, dude, Speedball is a stud. Kevin Knight is a stud. I think this just goes to show you that they probably didn't want to take the trios titles off of of these guys, particularly Jet Speed. But obviously they had to with the Hangman situation. So you just insert Mystico. I didn't expect them to win, but they win. Then you get the graphic that he's all elite. Tony says he's going to be working between both CMLL and
that's
AEW, but he's officially a member of AEW now, which is also smart. Yeah, dude, I'm all for it. I think we should enjoy Jet Speed for these next couple months because Kevin Knight is going to knock Mike Bailey's head off at some point, and it's going to be fucking glorious.
Oh, yeah. Killer Kevin Knight is a thing I want to see.
Swerve is continuing to and will eventually poison the mind of one Kevin Knight because Swerve has been leaning in trying to be, a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think
Devil
Swerve
on the
is
shoulder.
Yes, I think Swerve is eventually going to break through and Kevin Knight will go to the dark side. Eventually, down the line, not imminently, down the line.
Yeah, I was going to say, people are just starting to enjoy Jet Speed. Now you want to break their hearts. Damn you, JPJ.
That's what you got to do, baby. That's wrestling. That's wrestling.
You got that right.
You really like something? Well, let us take it away from you right now.
That's how it is.
You know whose fault it was that it was taken away from you? Kevin Knight's fault. So you know who you should hate and boo? Kevin Knight. And then when we put Speedball over Kevin Knight, you can cry tears of joy.
There you go. There it is. No holds barred match after this. Let's talk about it. Mina Shirakawa got a surprising victory over Marina Shafir, which, is very confusing because you have Marina Shafir lose at Revolution to Toni Storm. You have Ronda Rousey come out.
Shouldn't have lost to Toni Storm, by the way.
Right. And then she loses to Mina Shirakawa here. So why should we take Marina Shafir seriously if she's losing all these big matches? And that's not taking anything away from Mina Shirakawa, because I thought Mina looked very good in this match. Like, the women went after it. That table spot to the outside, vicious. That looked like it hurt. Mina is great, but she didn't need this win.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. How they booked Marina Sunday and yesterday, that didn't make sense. I was kind of just like, I understand why Toni Storm would win that match. She's Toni Storm. All right, I get that. I would have had Marina win.
Same.
Because I don't think that hurts Toni at all. I would have had Marina win that one, but you do the Ronda thing after, and it's kind of like, all right, whatever, fine. But last night, to me, I didn't even blink twice about who I thought was going to win that match.
Same.
I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay. She'll beat up her friend, kind of continue the thing with Toni. She'll beat up Mina, and, that'll kind of be that, and then all of a sudden, Mina beats her, so it's like, okay, well, why does Marina Shafir need that? This is over now.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't need to see a follow-up now. Toni beat her, Mina beat you.
Yeah. And this is not a dig at Mina, because Mina is also great.
We love Mina.
But if you can't beat the lower-level best friend, why the fuck do you have another opportunity? It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's the one gripe I have with AEW, is sometimes it just seems like they can't get certain talent out of a hole. And Marina Shafir is one of those people that kind of just is so close. Takeshita, and I know they're going to get there with Takeshita, but they're teasing the hell out of it. Yeah.
Got there a year ago.
How long has he been in AEW now? 3 years?
It was right there for you. You should have set it up that it was him and Okada in the finals of the Continental Classic, and he beat Okada.
Yeah.
But he loses that. Then he fights Moxley 3 times, and it's like, okay,
loses every one of those.
We're at the no time limit, and everybody that I know, including me and you, and everybody was like, oh yeah, this is Takeshita's time. He's going to beat Moxley finally. Nope. What the fuck are we doing?
What are we waiting for? It's not just AEW. That WWE does this all the time. That we're waiting on Braun Breaker. Oh, we're waiting to pull the trigger. Sometimes you just got to do it because injuries happen, things happen. And I just looked it up. Takeshita's been in AEW since 2022.
Yeah, he's been there for years.
We're prolonging this moment a little too long, I think.
Again, I just look at Double or Nothing in New York, and I just go, okay, it's him and Okada for the, like, but now he's not. It was so easy to just have him beat Moxley,
just do it,
win the Continental title, and then you have the built-in unified championship match with Takeshita and Okada at Dynasty, at Double or Nothing, wherever the hell you want to do it. Mm-hmm. That's what you have.
Yeah.
And they just... And again, it's not an anti-Moxley thing either. I know some people make it an anti-Moxley thing. It's not an anti-Moxley thing.
No.
But, like, how many times are you just going to have... Like, I feel like the guy... Moxley should have lost to Takeshita. There's no... I don't even doubt that an ounce.
It's like the people that get mad that Rhea Ripley wins all the time. Like, I understand it, but it's the same thing with Moxley. It's like Moxley does kind of win all the time.
Yes.
At some point, Moxley's going to have to lay down.
Not win.
And take the pin for once, Mox. I know that's not your decision, probably. But
Moxley's a company guy. When I know Hangman's the main character, but when I think of AEW, I think of John. He's the guy. John Moxley, and he's been the guy since day one, has barely taken any time off. He had to get himself a little healthy, physically and mentally, and just a couple years ago. But other than that, he's fucking been there every show, every week, and he's been the forefront and the leader of that company, backstage and on screen.
No
so
doubt.
I completely understand why John Moxley wins and does the things that he does. But I don't know what we're waiting for. Because now you have Ospreay going for Moxley.
Yeah.
And I would assume that Ospreay will beat Moxley.
You would think.
So now what is Takeshita? I don't know.
Fletcher? Maybe Takeshita goes after Fletcher?
But Okada is still the match that everybody wants again, and they're still teasing the... But you had the unified title match right fucking there. And then Takeshita's the unified champion, and he's like your top 3 or 5 star for you in the company.
Just questionable booking all
Yeah, it's
around.
just
Not
really, I
bad
just don't get it.
execution, not bad matches, just questionable booking. Eric said, I think we do MJF, Kenny at Dynasty, and then Swerve at Double or Nothing. Who's a big name from New Jersey for Forbidden Door for Andrade? An Arena Mexico show, Osprey all in. There's a lot to digest there, Eric. I don't know if I'm following you 100%.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
You kind of bounced around from place to place there, so I couldn't follow you. So let's go to the main event of Dynamite real quick. We had the Young Bucks and Jack Perry taking on Okada and Roppongi Vice. Listen, no disrespect once again to Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. They haven't been on Dynamite in a year or two. I don't know. It's been a long time, and they're in the main event of Dynamite, and it was kind of a short match.
Yeah, look at this was high impact.
Get the Bucks back.
Yeah, exactly. High impact 6-man. You know what the 6-mans are in AEW. Chaos from start to finish. It was a quicker match. This was just to really get
set up the later
Jack Perry too. I don't know if you saw the press conference and what Jack Perry talked about at the press conference when he mentioned his dad and stuff. Jack Perry came off really well to me in the press conference after Revolution. He's your new international champion, so it really made sense. It was basically a showcase for those 3 guys, and then you had everything that happened afterwards, which was.
That's more of the takeaway, I think, from the main event was the stuff that happened after it. But I do want to point out the fact that I love that Jurassic Express is back. I love that Luchasaurus is driving around a bus. I think it's just fun. Like, I love fun things in wrestling. And that's what I was talking with Ian about during the show, because we usually live text during Dynamite, is that I realize that some people hate that kind of stuff. Like, they're just there for the wrestling, but for me, it's always been characters and storylines that draws me in. So when AEW leans into the fun stuff like this, I can respect it. So I'm glad that Jurassic Express is back. I'm glad that we got the OG Young Bucks. But what happened afterwards is what's got everybody talking, because the tag team division in AEW seems to be heating up, because at Revolution, we saw the anticipated return of Cage and Cope, who have their eyes set on those tag team titles. And we now know they're facing off against FTR at Dynasty. But I think we are probably heading into some kind of multi-team TLC match. I don't know how you're feeling about all this, but I do know that it's going to be a very fun matchup between these 2 teams at Dynasty.
Yes, this is going to be really good. I feel like it's a match. We've seen it before, but now that it has the titles, my man, Big Bad Boris, that's a good call-out.
It is.
This match will be. I expect Copeland and Christian to win this one, and win the titles here. I do.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because they need their revenge, don't they?
Yeah. But I do think at Double or Nothing we'll get a 3-way. I don't know. I know a lot of people are throwing out the TLC part of it. If you want regular ladder, I don't know how I feel about Old Man Edge on one leg on a friggin' TLC match.
I don't either. And again, Christian's not young either, you know?
No, but Christian to me at least feels like
better
physically
shape.
He's a little bit more with it.
Yeah.
Because Edge, but like Edge just shattered his leg into a million pieces 2 years ago. Like, I don't need him climbing ladders and doing crazy things. Even he's like 55, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. How old is he? Is he in his 50s?
He's got to be close to 50, late 40s. I don't know.
Which is crazy.
40,
that's like
48?
That's normal now.
48, 51. I don't know. Probably somewhere around.
If I could type, that would be great. But I thought, 52.
There we go.
Yeah.
So again, can they do them? Yeah, I'm expecting. I think Copeland and Christian will win the titles at Dynasty.
Yeah.
And then Canada,
lose
2
Canadians.
Canadians. Double or Nothing. I don't even know if they lose at Double or Nothing, but I think this becomes a triple threat, a 3-way.
No doubt.
At Double or Nothing for the tag titles with these 3 guys, and the Bucks get back in it. I know people might not like it. I could see the Bucks winning the titles at Double or Nothing.
I think they're going to as well.
But yeah, I think that's what happens there. They teased it last night, especially when both Cope and Christian and the Young Bucks were each holding the titles on one end. They teased it. That's a match. They come out and.
Oh, hold on. I think I lost your audio there on your end, JPJ. I think I lost his audio over there. It did this last night on his Twitch channel too. So 1 second, he's gonna fix a few things. But we do know, like I said, FTR versus Cage and Cope is set for Dynasty. the Young Bucks definitely are going to make their way back into the fold very soon. So, yeah, hold on. You're actually muted on screen, just so you know. Like on the screen, it says you're muted. There's 4 other guys to take all the big bumps in a match like that. Also true. Good point, Boris. You got the other guys that can take all the crazy spots in that matchup right there. But, yeah, that's the AEW Dynamite in a nutshell for you guys. JPJ, it looks like you're still muted on screen. And, yeah, he's gone into the abyss. So I think that means it's time to wrap things up here for episode 17 of Kayfabe Coffee. We appreciate you guys hanging out. And by the way, don't forget to check us out on Twitch. We just launched our new Twitch channel. We're going to have some new gaming content coming out. Maybe some WWE games. Who knows? We're going to have other things as well. So make sure you're following us there on Twitch. We are on the road to 400 subscribers here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. And we want you to be a part of what we are doing. Daily uploads here on this channel. We got watch-alongs, we got predictions, we got mixers, we got the Dusty Finish, Kayfabe Coffee, you name it. We got it. And Boris, who knows? I don't even know who you are, so I got to get to know you, I guess, before I have you on my show, because at the end of the day, I know JPJ was on the screen, but this is Kayfabe Coffee with Kyle. Who does Indiana play tonight? Eric, stop being a piece of shit. Fuck you. Yes, I'm saying F you at the end of the show because I don't care. You know the answer to that. Hold on, Eric. Hold on. This one's for you. Don't piss me off. Hey, Eric, do you have a national championship? No. Indiana football has a national championship the last time I checked. Get these losers out of my chat. Get these freaking losers out of my chat. If you're not an Indiana Hoosier, get the hell out of here. That's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Thank you guys for hanging out for episode 17 of Kayfabe Coffee. We'll see you guys next time for episode 18, probably next Tuesday. Take care.